okay, back to what I was just saying just a second ago. I signed into Facebook, and on Facebook there is, like, on this page that was titled, like, Native Pride, there's this, like, picture of President Trump and a Native American person or actor. I think he was, like, the dad in the Last of the Mohicans movie.
I've never seen it, so...
Right. It's a really good movie with Daniel Day-Lewis. About colonization, and it's something that, like, our ancestors might have experienced, because...
Like colonization to America?
Yeah. So, like, that homestead in Pennsylvania called the Sweatland Homestead, where, like, our ancestor Luke Sweatland was, like, taken captive by the Mohawks. I think that's why I like movies like that, because it's learning a little bit more, or having some kind of comprehension of what my ancestors went through. Anyways, so the point of the post was, like, Donald Trump, red-faced, yelling about, like, immigrants need to go home and get out of the USA. And then, like, the Native American person, the picture of them, the caption is, then aren't you German? Like, when are you gonna go home? And I think that, like, people need to stop making it about this, like, ethnicity or, like, race or color.
Well, Trump's not making it about race. He's making it about, like, nationality and where you're from.
No, the whole point is because he's the president of the USA, right? It's his job and the government's job to manage money, right? To manage how the USA is spending money and taking care of its citizens.
Mom, they're not deporting Hispanic people who were born here. They're deporting people who came here from...
Right, if you're here illegally, they are cracking down on that and sending you home. And the whole, like, my position is not agreeing or disagreeing with anything. My position is just trying to talk to you and get you to think about what you think. How do you feel about this? So right now, currently in the USA, the Navajo, which Native Americans were here before any Anglo-Saxon American ever stepped foot on this continent. So Navajo, some of the first peoples in this place, are living currently without basic human needs. They do not have running water. There's all kinds of things that are happening in Native American communities that like, is shocking and almost like a third world country. And as much as, like, I currently live, we both currently live in a sanctuary county, meaning you will have a little bit more protection and freedoms than someone who doesn't live in a sanctuary county. It means that, like, we're not trying to deport you if you're here illegally. We're trying to help you get a job and become legal. Because the whole goal is to not, like, we don't want to go against what the Statue of Liberty says, where send me you're tired, you're hungry, and you're poor. Like, we want to take care of you. We want you to have that fresh start. We want you to live the American dream. We want you to have that viewpoint that America is a good place to be, right? This is better than where you came from, and we're trying to, like, make things better. However, like, when we live in an area or a country where, like, the people that were here first are going broke and starving to death and going without basic human needs like running water, like, and people that are first moving into our country are getting a food stamp card.
What is that liquid dripping out of there?
I don't know, it's probably water. It looks like that's a food truck. I don't know. Right, so if you have a viewpoint of, like, looking into your community and seeing all the people that are going without, seeing all the people that are living there's things that are happening within the government where they are literally cutting Medicaid funding. They're cutting all of these things that are supposed to benefit people who are living in poverty. And there's a lot of people who are immigrating fresh into our country, and they automatically are getting that food stamp card, that Medicaid card. So paid for by the people who have lived here and been paying taxes. And meanwhile, the people who have been here the entire time are not getting those benefits. So I think that, like, my perspective is, like, you have to stop making it about color or ethnicity. It's not like all Mexicans go home. It's not like all Germans go home. It's not like everybody from Africa go home. It's literally like, where is the funding going to come from to benefit all, right? Like, who's getting taxed on that? Who's going to pay for all these food stamps? Because somebody is paying for it.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not paying taxes as an illegal immigrant, but you're collecting those benefits, is that fair to the people that are paying taxes? And that's what it's about. Because again, like, I look outside and, okay, just so you know, October, the month that we're in, is World Diversity Awareness Month. Meaning the world is a more splendid and beautiful and wonderful place because of the diversity of all life. Right? And I think that you have to take the stance of like the diversity that is immigrating into the USA, the diversity of all life that is here, right? It's not about a race go home because you're your race. It's about I'm gonna turn my camera around, see around my. All right, so we're driving down the road, and when you are driving and you're looking around, how many different kinds of plants do you see? How many different kinds of trees? Right? Like, we just watched that movie, Mississippi Burning, where they are talking about the reason the KKK was in power is because they were trying to protect the Anglo-Saxon American way of life. And I'm just blown away that that kind of talk and rhetoric was ever allowed in our country. Considering that the people that were here before we got here were of color. But if you're like, look at all the different kinds of trees. Look at the different kinds of bushes, plants, grass. There is different kinds of dirt. And if you are a Christian or you believe in a higher power that created all of this, then there is no way that you can believe in racism. Right?
Well, people feel more inclined to be racist because they're a part of the species that they're being racist to, which is why people aren't racist towards different kinds of animals or trees or dirts, like your examples there. Like, that's why people...
Right, I mean, how many different kinds of breeds of dogs are there?
Hundreds, thousands.
Right, how many kinds of house cats are there, let alone wild cats, let alone feral cats? How many different kinds of birds? Like, I get upset with stuff like that when you try to make it about someone's color or someone's ethnicity or background. Like, anytime that something like that comes up, then I have something to say about it. Because our family, our bloodline is descended from 2 genocides, right? Like, our ancestors, like, I have 1% native DNA left within me because of the genocide of the Cherokee people. So, I think it's really important that our bloodline never forgets that. Like, we never forget those lessons that have been handed down through stories throughout the generations and how we treat people.
Well, Mom, looking at it from like a non like religious or like anything like that kind of standpoint, like scientists say that one reason why we might be like racist is because of like hominin times when like survival was most important, and like there were different kinds of humans on the planet, so you were just like you already had that in your brain to like stay away from other different kinds of things that look like you.
Okay, so you're saying like caveman times, like as the human race developed and changed into like Cro-Magnon and Homo sapien,
Yeah.
that our species didn't actually fit together, and that's where that comes from, is something inherited to like stay away from others that aren't like you.
Well, there have been like 20 different kinds of humans in the past. We just like were the ones that won and beat everyone. Like Homo sapiens. We're the ones that won. Homo sapiens. We beat every other hominin, and they all died, except for like Neanderthals.
Right. But like, so what do you think about things like a religion? Like there's a portion of Christianity, and I don't know how big or how small it is, but like, yes, we will get snacks, just not at this exit. Think about things like, we'll go to that little grocery store that's by Org. We're going to walk through the woods near Org today, because it's an easy trail and I haven't been feeling good. So my fever broke yesterday, so we're going to take an easy trail and just kind of meander through the woods. So what do you think about something like, in Christianity, there is a portion of Christians who believe that, like the reason why slavery happened is that, like a person of color their skin was darkened because of the sin in their soul, and like the outside reflected that inner sin within.
Well, Mom, right now in history, I am literally learning about slavery and like what caused it, and how it started was that when people were colonizing America, like they needed more people to like work the new lands that they had, so they kept sending people over from England. But then all those people would complain and complain and complain, like pay us more, pay us more, pay us more. So they were like, oh, why don't we just do slavery where we don't have to pay these people or treat them good? And I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not pretty sure, I know, they just went to Africa because they, like, thought, like, they were, like, less.
Right, but that's that perspective of why they thought they were less, is because of the color of their skin. So, like, how does that, like, how have you internalized that, like, lesson from the past? Like, the whole point is that these people thought that they were better than and could do whatever they wanted to this other group of people because of the color of their skin. Because their belief system is that you were a horrible sinner, so it was righteous in the eyes of God to enslave you and be horrible to you.
Well, it wasn't just black people, it was also like the native people when they came to America. Like they treated them horribly. Like before they went to the Africans for slaves, they were using Native Americans.
Right. So that's my question, is that when is faith in a higher power to the detriment of our society? In things like that. Like the KKK did some horrible things in the USA, and it was just acceptable in their viewpoint to hate somebody and be horrible to them and do awful things to them because of the color of their skin, because that was their faith.
And wasn't like the peak of the KKK, like it had like almost 2 million people in it, I'm pretty sure.
Right, like literally it's just acceptable, and these are groups that are still around today. And I mean, my
KKK is not
viewpoint.
around.
It is.
I mean, it's a
Oh,
thing.
yes, it is.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying, like, it's not at all big anymore. There's
It's
like
not.
2,000 people.
It's not like in the heyday that it used to be. Like back in the 40s and 50s, it was a really big thing.
Obviously.
So
It's
I
not
mean, if
at
you're
all
learning
relevant.
right now, if you're learning about human slavery and this ownership over other people, like how can we combat that in today's world so that there are no humans that are being forced to do things that are inhumane?
I mean, we don't do that anymore. We don't have slavery anywhere.
There is a current law in the state of California that just passed that has a stop human trafficking.
Yeah, that's not slavery. That's
No,
human
no, no.
trafficking.
Human trafficking is slavery.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Like there is a text number that children can text and say, some adult is trying to force me into doing something that I don't want to do, and I need your help to make it stop. Because it's going into children now. Any time that someone can like force another group of people to do something.
You're technically, yeah, sure. Human trafficking is kind of slavery, but it's still different. It's not the same thing at all.
Right, it's not the same exact thing. It's shifted and changed into what today's culture might find acceptable. But like, don't you find that a problem? That just because like the color of your skin or like the place of on the planet that you come from, somebody can hate you for that and think, well, I'm better than you, so you're going to do everything I tell you to, or I'm going to be horrible to you because I can, and nobody stops me. Like, don't you find, I find that to be horrid. That's literally completely horrible, and it should be wiped out of our society.
I wish that would happen, but it's not going to.
Why do you think it's not going to?
I mean, I'm sure eventually it will stop, but then just something new will come up. Bad things are just going to happen, Mom. It's...
Right, I mean, I can't wrap you as my only child, as my son, into bubble wrap. Like, I can't keep you completely safe in this little tiny bubble where nothing ever happens, because that's not real life. That's not experiencing human life. But I mean, I would like to empower you so that way when bad things happen, you know how to handle them, or you know how to wing it and trust your own instincts to get through it. Right? Like our German ancestors fled the Holocaust at the beginning of it. So they didn't go to concentration camps.
Okay.
Right? So they trusted themselves and got out of that area before it got bad. And I think that that's really valuable, and that's something that, like, you have to be able to trust your own self enough to know when it's time to go.
I understand that. That'll be just fine.
Do you personally believe that because of the color of your skin, right? Like, I have 1% Native American DNA left within me. You have none. We've had our DNA done. You have zero ethnic color DNA within you at all.
You could just say it white. You didn't have to say
Right.
20 different words.
Well, I had to say 20 different words.
You didn't have to.
Yes, I did.
You didn't.
Yes, I did.
Nope.
So, why does that, do you think that makes you a better person or more holy or more righteous or any type of way ownership over another soul?
No.
Exactly. And I love the way that you kind of like shook your head like, God, duh, no. Because that's how our family has raised the generations since those two genocides.
Well, Mom, if you had asked me, do I think there are some parts of different cultures that I think are worse or better than some others, I would say yes.
Right. There's some that I think are absurd as well. Like
there are
the
some things that I think are
Dalits,
better.
right? Like the Dalits, literally, you are born into a certain social class and you can never rise above or out of it. You're literally going to do the horrible jobs of like being a human being, climbing into sewers and cleaning out human fecal matter because you're a Dalit. So you're nothing. So we could just do whatever we want to you. That's how they believe of Dalits in that social caste system.
Okay. Well, Mom, I think there are also just some parts of different cultures and races that are straight up just better than other races and skin colors. Like black people, they literally don't get sunburns.
Right.
I wish I couldn't get sunburns.
Right.
Like, what the heck?
So there's things that are beneficial, right? Each ethnic group and each race and each color has things that are positive as well, right? Like it's not just like, oh well, all people.
But I would never ever like judge someone because of like the bad things about their culture and their race or whatever, because my own race and my own culture has bad things too. So when anything like racial comes up, it's only going to be positive.
Right. So I listened to a woman, a doctor named Gloria Maddox. She says that reverse racism is a thing. She is a black woman. Her grandma, she was raised by her grandma. Her mom killed herself when she was 4 years old. So she was raised by a grandma who was actually raised on a plantation. So that kind of viewpoint and perspective of being raised by a woman who lived on a plantation flavored her view of white people.
Obviously.
Right?
If you were an actual slave, you're probably not gonna like the people who, like the race of the people who kept you captive. You're probably not gonna like them as much.
Right? Like but it's not based on the actual skin color. It's based on a learning and an experience of trauma from people of that color.
Yeah.
It's not the actual color of the person itself. It is a learned lesson from trauma. And it can be unlearned. I just find that to be like, I don't want you, so I'm a shaman and I find spirituality to be extremely important. Human beings are mind, body, spirit. You have to nurture and grow each aspect of what it is to be a human. Your physical body, your mental body, and your spiritual body. But I don't think that any aspect of anything that has to do with spirit makes me better or worse than anybody else. Obviously. I just find that to be extremely scary that at one point that was the perspective that God has ordained that you are darker complected to cover so that the world could see your sin. And that's why God has cursed you to be slaves on this planet.
Things change.
That's horrifying. Like,
things change. I'm quite sure that racism is not going to be a thing like at all in like 200, 300 years. Actually,
I hope not. I would really hope not.
It probably will be, because with the like the evolution of AI and robots, I'm sure some people are going to be like, I don't know if racist is the right word, but racist towards robots. I'm sure that's going to be a thing. Because think about it, Mom. We talk about robots and like AI, how like racist people, like slave owners would like 100 years ago or like 200 years ago. Like we like use them as tools basically. So I'm quite sure that robots are going to become like something of the same type of thing.
But they're not humans.
Exactly.
Like a machine is actually used as a tool because it is a tool.
Well, eventually, Mom, it might not. Eventually, they might be considered like alive. We don't know what's going to happen in like 30 years. Because as robots and those kinds of things are evolving, and they're getting like smarter and like more alive,
Or more realistic.
They're like starting to seem more human. So eventually, I'm sure.
Right, but they're not human. Like a seal.
And
so
you
I
would be
just
called
learned-
robophobic in 30
No,
years.
I'm not. I am not robophobic. What I am, however, is a realist. And like last weekend, I was paddleboarding in the ocean in Trinidad Bay. I saw a seal, and I was like Google searching information about seals and like how, like what does their behavior mean, right? Like if a seal hops on my board, Google says that any kind of physical contact between a seal is actually a sign of aggression because they're not very like touchy-feely creatures. And it's like, well, that's probably good to know if one jumps on my board, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I interact with this other species? But like, they can also mimic a human being's words. They
Like
can
in their
actually
voice,
like say things where it sounds like that. Like a parrot can repeat a phrase. They can learn to mimic the sounds. But they're not ever going to actually be a human being. They're always going to be a seal.
Well, obviously, Mom, but robots, where literally ChatGPT, like one of their, you do know what ChatGPT is, right?
What?
Do you know what ChatGPT is?
No.
It's an AI like system that like helps people and like gives them answers. It's like Google, but with like AI, you can generate images, videos.
Oh, like Siri. So you
Like
call,
Siri, kind
you're
of.
like, hey.
No, not call. You can type. It doesn't have like a voice yet. Not like that. But like it's not like it is an app. Never mind. But like one of its like moderators and like administrators told the AI that they were going to shut it down and delete it, and it literally tried to like protect itself and like move to a different browser or something to like try and save its life.
Right.
It's
So-
literally like becoming human.
So doesn't that scare you? That would scare me.
Yes.
So up to what point is it going to defend itself? Is it going to take human life?
Eventually, probably.
That's why are we inventing that?
I
Didn't
don't
they
know.
make a movie about that? It's called The Matrix.
There's also video games about it too.
Right? Like